Hello viewers, I am Sani Mu'azu and you are on to Create with Eddycan. You are bound to enjoy it. Stay tuned. I've been in the industry for over 3 decades.
Oh my God.
Yes. And experience had been highly rewarding, is the right word. The industry had grown in leaps and bounds from an industry where nobody is sure of what the future will be, where people were just trying to express themselves, to an industry that is the second largest in the world right now, next only to Bollywood and ahead of Hollywood. So I think the industry had seen it all, and it had developed rapidly. It is a force to reckon with around the world, and the whole of the African continent, or the black communities around the world, are very proud of this industry. That's where we are. This industry is unlike other industries. Versatility is one of the keys to survival within the industry. If you hold on to being an actor, the likelihood of you being out of business for a very long time is there. And we have bills to pay. So it was not by design that I wanted to do everything. I got into the industry and rose through the ranks. When I got into the industry, my strength was actually in directing. So I was always, a director. I started more like an arts director or production designer, and I grew into becoming a full-scale director. But along the line, I was acting as well. Now, the realities of time made it impossible for me not to be a producer, because you cannot put all your investment in the hands of people that can mess you up. The producer is actually one that not just designs, or employs the production, crew and cast, but the producer also, ensure that the investment is well protected. So eventually I found myself being a producer, by, the situation. Yes, but my strength remains in directing. So if you want to say, what do you major? I'm likely to say directing. However, because I am, I would say lucky as an actor, I am well known around the world. I have done so many productions and I've done so many bits. So it is also a calling that I have clearly accepted. I would rather you ask the people. I can hazard a guess, but I am certain that different people will see me differently. Those that see me as an actor are definitely going to talk about all the things they've seen in me as an actor. I've played lead roles in some of the big productions in this country, from Shuga Naija to King of Boys to Lionheart, Up North, Fourth Republic, you name it. So people that watch are likely to see me as an actor. I've also played vital roles, in the evolution of the industry because I went into the politics of the industry as well. So those that see me as an industrial manager, would have different, perspective about me. Those I have directed in one project or the other will also see me as a director, and they're likely to talk to me from their own perception of what I do as a director. So lots of people will see me differently. And I believe it will be an interesting read if you can ask people, and I will read what they were able to say about me. Oh, definitely. Definitely. We are a product of our environment. Others will say we are what we eat. So I've always been an artist in the making. Of course, very early in life from my primary school, it was difficult for me or for people to say this is what I'm likely to become. But one thing that is very obvious is that nobody draws better than me in all the classes I went to, primary, secondary school. And visual arts, you will think, was my calling because I could draw until I came face to face with television. It was, back in the days, black and white. When I saw the tube, I realized this is where I was destined to be. It depends on, my frame of mind at any particular point in time. To develop, you need to go through, different layers of or processes, and sometimes it depends on where my mind, was working, at that point in time. You will see that actors like Denzel Washington, for instance, made a tremendous impact on me, as an actor in my bid to interpret roles. Of course, lots of directors. I've studied lots of directors. I don't want to say this particular one, but any director that is worth, his onion, I had studied because I had always wanted to be a very good director. Other people are political leaders. For instance, Martin Luther King Jr., I read about him and, all his, travails as a human rights activist, and I like him, and he's a role model. Mahatma Gandhi in India, I read about him and I see him as a role model. So it depends on what I'm going through at a point in time in my life. Well, I had no first day on set, let me put it that way. I didn't start from playing a role. I was in the TV industry as a presenter, as a producer, doing so many things before I became an actor. So I was very comfortable with the camera and the mic even before, I knew I would become a filmmaker. So being on set, or actually, it's also different ball games. Each time I have the chance of, interpreting a role as an actor, it's like starting a journey afresh. And each role is unique in itself. So one cannot clearly say that there was any time when you master the game as an actor. You're always learning. You are always amazed at your potentials, to put in so much and make something out of nothing. You start with a script, and the script, was just lines written by somebody. But you put life, you breathe life into a character and make it several times. I've got names, by the audience. I played the role of Solomon in Shuga Naija, and people start referring to me as Solomon. I played the role of Douglas Amakri in Shadows, and wherever I go, my name is Douglas Amakri. I played the role of Baba Okada in Kwana Chesaing, a Nollywood series, and everybody calls me Baba Okada. So you can imagine the number of personalities, I keep assuming from playing different roles. Some of the roles are very wicked people, and some are very nice people. Our ability to assume a role, to internalize a role, to become one with that, character, is one, as a result of our natural talent. Some people are just talented, as a result of the education we've had. Some people may not be talented, but through education, they are guided to discover themselves. Other times it is as a result of our ability to transform, to mutate, and in most cases, actually that process of mutation happens, because there is never ever a role that I've played that is the same as me, me, Sani Mu'azu. No. Each time I pick a role to play, I try to transport myself outside this me into another, body, and become that person using this body as a tool. And by the time I'm done with it, I return back to being who I am. Mountain Blues was one of my best outings, not just as a producer. Actually, I was to be the director, producer, as well as one of the lead actors in Mountain Blues. But I brought in my friend from Lagos to help me as assistant director, and I saw the workload of the acting side of it as being, too much. So I had to let go of the role of directing, and I restricted myself to just being the producer and one of the lead actors. Mountain Blues won, an award in one of the film festivals in this country, and it made me to be very proud as a producer. The unique thing about Mountain Blues was that it was a crossover production. I wanted to bring in Kannywood and Nollywood, and see if it can work. So in Mountain Blues, I had people like my very good friend Segun Arinze, Bimbo Akintola. Well, I brought in a couple of Nollywood stars, some from the Yoruba side, others from the Igbo side, and I brought in Alinuhu and myself. And the entire story was an adventure. A group of young people went out on an adventure, but something happened that changed that adventure into, a nightmare. They discover bags of money, and one by one they started dying. And we really did not know who was killing who, until at the tail end, we realized that the least person you thought was the killer was actually the killer. So it was a nice experience. Yeah, life is up and down. It is not always up. We do have our low moments. And as a person, I have had situations where I really feel, unhappy, with whatever I find myself in. So yes, there are moments like that. There are moments when I cried, like when I got my first child and she died, Yeah, so one of my lowest moments in life. I was really looking forward to holding my first kid, and I had her for just a few days, and then she left again. So yeah, one goes through low moments. Even in the industry, there are moments where you are so sure of what you're doing, only for it to turn out to be a flop. So it happens. It's business. Sometimes you just get into something without thinking it will break through, and it turns out to be, some of those great works that were referred to today. So yeah, there are, downsides, but there are beautiful moments as well. Well, consistency is the key word. We cannot allow setbacks, to pull us backward. Setbacks in most cases are temporary disabilities. Setbacks should make us stronger. I have a saying that this art that I step on will not allow me to fall down. Each time I go falling, the art is there to help me to rise up again, so I don't fall. Creativity is complex. It's one of those things we do where excellence is actually subjective. What do I mean? 2 + 2 will give you 4. It can give you 4.5 or 5. It can give you 3. But paint the best painting in the world, and somebody will come, look at it and say, this is bullshit. That's creativity. Another person will come and say, oh, this is the most amazing image I've seen in my life. That is creativity. It is subjective, subject to somebody's interpretation. So you're likely to be an actor and you put in your best, but somebody sees it as rubbish. Somebody writes you off for your best. That's creativity. But somebody will want to come and lick your ass. Somebody will be so excited from what you have done. So it's very complex. However, creativity is the most rewarding endeavor you can get into in the world, because we take the qualities of God. God creates. In creativity, you can start from nothing, absolutely nothing, and with stint of hard work, and probably luck, you may sit back and watch something beautiful that has come out of that nothing. You start from a blank piece of paper, and by the time it is on air, people see people they believe in, they feel it had been there before. Now, that is the quality of God. So it is the most rewarding job in the world. Let me put it this way. I don't see the dichotomy that people see about Kannywood and Nollywood. I don't see it like that. I see it as one industry. One industry, the Nigerian film industry. It may be Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Pidgin, or English. It is one film industry. Maybe I'm lucky. Lucky in the sense that I was born and bred in Jos. Jos is miniature Nigeria. In Jos, you are likely to do English productions the same way you are likely to do Hausa productions. I grew in the TV industry. At a point, we had no Nollywood or film industry. What we had was TV, and series were the main thing that, keep people, glued to their sets. But of course, there are, what we call tele movies, at that point in time. Most of the tele movies I did were in English, and some of the people I work with, doing television then, were among the people that put up Nollywood. So we put up Nollywood. The same thing, I've done a couple of Hausa productions, and the people that put up Kannywood, happen to be my colleagues, so we put up Kannywood. But if you ask me as a person, I don't see, any lines between, making a movie in one language or the other. If I can make a movie in Hebrew or in Arabic, why not? I've toyed with the idea of Middlewood. Yes. And how did I come about Middlewood? It is from Middle Belt. My thinking is the mid of Nigeria should have, a unique industry. This is where the north and the south meet. So why not create something that will be a little bit of both, and make it unique to this place, Middlewood. Well, my community in Jos North recognized me, and my paramount ruler gave me the title of Makaman Jos North, and it is actually a mark of recognition. Sometimes you walk, you influence others, you really may not know that people are watching you. I didn't ask for it. I didn't go looking for any title. I know for sure that whenever community service, is at stake, you will find me there. I work very hard for my community. I work very hard for, a peaceful Plateau State. We went through a very difficult moment. So each one of my resolutions as an individual is that it is very important for me to contribute to building peace in Plateau State. So I decided, throughout the crisis period, to keep working towards bringing people together, to keep dialogue, to make people open mind to see the Jos we saw while growing up, the Jos we knew. I started from primary school. I started in a missionary primary school, and it's a Christian missionary primary school, and I'm a Muslim. And in school, there's nothing like this is a Muslim, this is a Christian. We were one and the same. And growing up, all my friends, we really don't see ourselves from the prism of religion. So I worked very hard towards making sure Jos returned to how it used to be. Maybe it is because of all that I kept doing that my community decided, okay, this guy should be rewarded with a traditional title. So I thank them for that. Well, okay, let me give you, what I will call nuggets, to take home. Whoever wants this industry must be honest with themselves. They must be consistent. They must be hardworking. They must have the right frame of mind. Sometimes frame of mind is everything. You may be very talented, but because you have the wrong frame of mind, nobody would want to work with you. But if you have the right frame of mind, the right disposition, you are likely to have, colleagues wanting to work. Because in this industry, it is teamwork. You can't do it alone. So you must have the kind of mind that will make your colleagues to be comfortable around you. So you need to be consistent. Like I said, you need to be honest. Honest in the sense that these days I see lots of young people and all they want is to make money. There's no harm in wanting to make money. But this is not Hollywood. This is Nigeria. Whether you like it or not, that is your reality. So be honest with your environment. Be honest with everything. And when you are putting in your best, don't say because I have not, I expect so much money and I've not seen it, I will not put in my best. Each time you get an opportunity, that window of opportunity is also a window of opportunity to market yourself. So even if somebody is not paying you, see that opportunity as a chance to use that person to market yourself. So put in your best. Make sure you put in your best, because you don't know who is going to watch it. You don't know who is going to hear it. If you're honest also, most people would like to recommend you. You may not know, but somebody will say, oh no, I work with this lady and she's so honest with herself. I believe in destiny. And I know that no matter how hard you struggle, no matter how hard, you want to make it, if you're not destined to, you won't. I believe that if you are destined to be somewhere or something, you will get there. Luck, yes. I don't truly believe that all you need is luck. I think you need education, you need hard work. Those that dream to be where I am, I encourage. I say, hold on to your dreams. Don't allow anything, to push you off, that path. But I also caution them that if you think the glitterita, the razzmatazz of the industry, is all there is, let them come and they will realize it is hard work. They will realize that we drop sweat. Sometimes we drop even blood for us to make the magic that people identify us with. It is not easy at all. There is no free lunch. Each time you see a successful person, try to know their journey. You are likely to see that they had rough moments before becoming successful. Here in this industry, there is medicine, there is mathematics. Nothing is easy. This is what I will say to them. I'm extremely proud of myself, extremely proud of what I hear people say about me. I'm extremely proud of the people I've worked with that are doing very well in the industry or outside the industry. I'm very proud of my kids. I'm very proud of my wife. I'm very proud of my daughter. I'm a very proud person. Yeah. There is a movie that is about to be released. I think the trailer is, all in the social media. It is called The Invaders. I think those that really like my work should wait for The Invaders. It is a movie about the issue of man versus cattle, how some people have made cattle to have larger than life position in Nigeria, and so killing cattle can cost, the lives of people, and the need to see that human life is sacrosanct. So watch out for the invaders. So you have watched Create with Eddycan. So like, share and subscribe. Stay tuned.